In this lecture, I will give introduction to databases and how we can use them in Java programs. So I'll give you the general idea about the topic. For explanation, I have taken a diagram. So let me explain you the diagram first. See, this is hard disk drive. That is our storage, computer's storage. And this is RAM, random access memory or main memory where our programs run. And this is the CPU. CPU will execute the programs. We know very well about this one. And this hard disk will contain the programs as well as the data files. Like here, you can see that Java program is there. So that program file is already there inside hard disk. That is, class file is there in the hard disk. I'm not showing it here in the diagram. Programs or the data will be transferred from hard disk to the main memory or main memory to the hard disk. So actual running area of a program is main memory, RAM. Alright. So this hard disk is used as storage, permanent storage. Now let us talk about file versus database. So first of all, I will explain about files. See, in the previous sections, we have learned how a Java program can store the data in a file. We have learned this in java.io package. Java.io package. If you have not done it, please first complete that package and come back to this section. There is a section on java.io package. There we have learned how a Java program can access files. That is, file input streams and file output streams. And using random access file, Java program can access the data in the file. Means it can save the data, store the data, as well as retrieve the data. Now, the next important thing is how the data is stored in a file. In what format, in what form the data is stored. So Java program can store the data as it like in a file, in any format, in any form. And the same program can read the file. So how the data is organized in a file, it all depends on Java program. So who writes Java program? Programmer will write a Java program. So it is the responsibility of a programmer how to organize the data in a file and how to retrieve it. Like suppose, for example, you are storing student's information. You are storing student information like his name, roll number, phone number, branch, all those things. So in which order you have stored them, in the same order you can retrieve them. Suppose you have written first roll number, but you are reading a name. So you will be getting a roll number. That is not a name. So that's what. All this complexity has to be dealt with a Java program, how the data is organized in a file. So just a brief idea I have given you. So if you are using files in your Java program for organizing large size data, then it becomes very difficult to organize the data in the form of files. So then there is another solution for organizing the data, that is nothing but a database. So here in the diagram, I am showing database here in RAM because database is also a program. No doubt the program will be available on hard disk and it runs inside RAM. So database is also a program. Database is a program which deals with storing and organizing the data in a permanent storage like hard disk. We define the database like this. Database is a collection of interrelated data permanently stored on the disk, and it may contain the programs for accessing the data. So how these database programs organize the data? They organize the data in a tabular form. They form the table. So this is a student table. Let us say this is a student table. Student roll number and student name, student address and student branch. So this is a record of a student. So it will contain the records of student. Then let us say this is a departments table. So this will contain the information about a department, all the departments in a college. So this is for student. And there is a faculty table. So this contains the information about all the faculties. So like this, database is organized in the form of tables, and the tables may have relationship with other tables. Like student is related to department and the faculties are also related to department. So there are relationship in between the tables. I will discuss this part more in detail. So the point that we have to understand here is that data is organized in the form of tables, and the tables may have relationship with other tables. This is how databases will organize the data on the disk. So this storage, what I am showing you, assume that this is nothing but having collection of tables. So as a Java programmer, we don't have to worry how this data is stored in the form of table. Just we say store the data, it will get stored. And when we want to retrieve the data, databases support a language called as SQL, that is Structured Query Language. Using this language, we can easily retrieve the data. So we don't have to worry how the data is stored in the disk. Just you store it in the form of a table, and organizing the data in the form of a table is done by a database program. And when you want to retrieve anything, just you write a query and you can retrieve the data. So you have to learn SQL for retrieving the data from databases. So this is about databases. Databases store the data in the form of tables and they support SQL language. Now let us get a broader picture of this topic. I will clear off few things from here and I will explain. So let us summarize all the things that we have learned. See, using Java program, we can store the data in the files, but it will be difficult when it comes to very large size data. So we use files for small size data. For a very large size data, we prefer using database. So database programs will manage the data on the disk. Then how Java program can access this data? It will not access it directly. It will access it with the help of database program. So it will communicate with the database program and it will respond it back to the Java program. So this is nothing but Java database connectivity. Java database connectivity, JDBC. So JDBC comes into picture here. That means Java programs are accessing database by communicating with database programs. And we have already learned what are databases, how they store the data and all, right? So I just gave you the introduction. So in a Java program, we have two options. Now, from a Java program, we can store and retrieve the data from files as well as from the database. So that is called as JDBC. Connecting to databases is JDBC. So this is what we are going to learn further in this section. All right. So this is sufficient for introduction. Now, what are these database programs? So there are some famous database programs that are known database programs. The most famous one is Oracle, then MySQL. This is also owned by Oracle now, and Microsoft SQL Server is there. SQL Server. All these are paid databases. You have to take a license for using these products. And there is one more database that is free database, that is SQLite. So this one we will be using it in our programs. So once you learn how to access one of the database, it is similar for all other with some minor changes. So I will explain you what those changes are. So that's all in this lecture. We have got the introduction to database and files versus database. The main topic was files versus database. All right. So let us learn more things in coming lectures. In this lecture, I will explain you about databases and make you familiar with the terminology that is used in databases. See, in the previous lecture, I have explained that in the databases, data is stored in the form of tables. So here is the example of two tables. One table name is students and one more is department. These tables are also called as relations. That's how we also call DBMS as RDBMS. RDBMS, that is Relational Database Management System, because the data is stored in the form of relations that are called as tables. The next term, see on the top of a table, you find the description of a table. This is a description. And this description is also called as schema of a table. The description is roll number, name, city, and department number for students. And the schema for department is department number and department name. This is called as schema. This is how the table is actually defined. And the data is inserted in the table as per this definition, as per the schema. So for creating any table in the database, first of all, we have to define the structure of a table, that is schema of a table. Then based on that structure, we insert all this data inside the table. Then next term, these columns are called as these columns, that is roll number, complete column, right? And name and city, all these are called as fields. These are called as fields. Columns are called as fields. Then the next term is these rows, that is containing the record of a particular student. If I read this record, this is roll number 7 and name is Raj, city is Jaipur, and he belongs to department number 30. This is a row. This is called as row. And also it is called as a record of a student. And also it is called as tuple. A row is also called as tuple or a record in databases. So this is the term. So we have learned about relation, record, and field. Now next, see, this is containing the information about various students. I have taken just 15 students here. There may be 15,000 students also. As an example, we have 15 students. Now if you observe the roll number, all the roll numbers are unique. Yes, they are all unique. 1, 2, 3, 4 till 15. I have taken them in order. If you see the name Ajay is there and one more Ajay is there. So names are duplicated. And if you see city, Delhi is there here and one more Delhi is here. So city name is also repeating. And department number 10, that is also repeating. So what is unique in this one? This column is unique and none of the column is empty. Empty means null. If no value is mentioned, then it is null. Suppose this last student city name is not known. If it is not known, it is empty, then it means it is null. So here in roll number, you can see that nothing is null and all are unique. Let us come to the next term. For that, I'll ask a question. If you want to search for a particular student in this table, in this relation, then using which field you will search for him? Roll number, name, or city, or department number. Using which field you will search such that you should get only one student. You should not get multiple students. If I say search for Ajay, then I have two students with name Ajay here. If I say I want to search for Delhi, then there are multiple students with the city Delhi here. No, I want only one student. Search for one single student. So definitely we use a roll number for searching because roll number is not null as well as it is unique. So this we define it as a primary key for a relation. Primary key is a column which contains unique values so that you can search using a primary key in a relation to pull only a single record that is matching that key. Here also in the department table, you can see that department numbers are numbers and these are unique. No doubt department name is also unique, but number we will take department number. This we will call it as primary key. If you want to search for a particular department, you use a number of that department. 30 means civil department. 40 means mechanical department. So a column which is unique and not null can be defined as a primary key and it can be used as a key for searching any particular record, one single record. So this is a primary key. So we define relations in our database and also we define the primary keys. Then the remaining things I will explain them. I will clear off all these and again I will explain these three things. See here, there is a relationship in between these two tables, student table and department table. I have taken a line here to show the relationship. So there is a relationship. What is that relationship? This department number inside student table will have the department numbers that are already present in this department table. What are the numbers here? 10, 20, 30, 40. 50 is not there. 5 is not there. 30 is not, 35 is not there. So you can see all the department numbers used here, they are already present here. So this student table is having one of the column that is referring to this particular column in department table. Now, what is the use of this one? Suppose I want to know Ramesh belongs to which department? So Ramesh is roll number 4 belongs to which department? So Ramesh is roll number 4 and he lives in Delhi city, and 30, he belongs to department 30. So go and search for 30 here. You find the department that is civil. So Ramesh belongs to civil department. We are separating the data of students from data of departments, and we are joining them by giving a relationship. So one table can have a relationship with various other tables. So how to form this relationship? Here in the department, this department number is a primary key. In student table, roll number is a primary key, and department number is also present inside student table, which is referring to this department, right? So this is called as foreign key. It is called as foreign key. So there is a relationship defined with the help of foreign key. So two tables can have relationship with the help of primary key versus foreign key. So foreign key inside one of the table will be a primary key in another table. Or the other way, primary key of one of the table will become a foreign key in another table to form a relationship. So foreign keys are used for establishing relationship between tables or relations. And this is called as a constraint. This foreign key, primary key, these are called as constraints. So what are constraints? I'll explain you. See, primary key should not be null, right? Not null. There's a constraint. And it should be unique. Yes, it is also a constraint. So together becomes a primary key. This is also a constraint. Okay. So if you say primary key, then it's a constraint. It means it should not be null as well as it should be unique. Just not null if you say roll number, name of a student should not be null. So you cannot leave it empty. Or if you say roll number should be unique, so all these should be unique. And if you say primary key, then both should be followed. Then what about foreign key? When you say foreign key, so when you say foreign key, it is also a constraint. The meaning of the foreign key is, if you are inserting something here, then you can insert only the number that is already present here. Suppose I want to insert one more record, 16th record, and the name of a student is Smith, and he lives in Delhi, suppose. And if I write number 15, then this record cannot be inserted because 15 is not present in this column. So you can use only those values which are already present in primary key. So when you define a foreign key, this is the constraint. This is the constraint. So this is also called as integrity constraint. So it is integrating the two different tables together. So this foreign key is also called as integrity constraint. So that's it. These are the points that are very useful for us for completing our topic, that is JDBC topic using Java. So I have discussed sufficient terminology that we will be using it in our section in this topic. All right. So let us repeat the things once again quickly. See, a table is also called as a relation, and rows are called as records, columns are called as fields. Primary key means it is unique and not null. Foreign key refers to a primary key of another table, and it can have only those values which are already present in primary key. And foreign key, primary key together forms a relationship between tables. They are called as constraints. That's it. So I guess you may need to watch it once more if you are new to this terminology. All right. So if you want, you can prepare your points, your own points. So more we will learn in the coming lectures. So that's all in this video.